peace, happy now. Now is a vibrate, of course. Not going too far in the future. Not going too far in the past. Right now, I want to speak on the word magic, but more so speaking to the word magic that comes from the court system, or that they use in the court system in essence. And matter of fact, from the court being like a dock, you know what I'm saying? You use a docket. Matter of fact, we're gonna get all into that, but words, at the beginning was the word, the word. Not only, of course our thoughts manifest, but our words, manifest as well. That's why they get spells, put a spell on somebody. Matter of fact, at one time, we wasn't talking unless we were doing spells. Like, so say for instance, if you want to bring, because we were starting to fall a little bit, getting to our falling state, because by verbally talking, that's a lower vibrational frequency compared to, communicating through telepathy. But, when we was in this falling state, we got to a point where, where we started using words, but it was only for spells. So, you know what I'm saying? So, like, if I wanted to throw a little fireball at you, I'd be, I am Siram, I am, when, you know what I'm saying? I do so, like, put a spell together. Matter of fact, in speaking of words, that's also why, the oppressors took away the native tongue, the best they could of like a lot of indigenous people, because especially like, in Africa and just in a lot of places though, like with ancient languages, kind of like Sanskrit, where you find like a lot of words that like have like a rolling sound to it, like it creates some type of vibration, and what that does is stimulates the pineal gland, But speaking regular English, like cat, hat, that language is Babylon, the most bastard, language of them all, basic extension of Latin, Rome, and all kind of thing, you know what I'm saying? Like one word in one word in English can mean so many different things. But that's also the vibe of what language was meant to be. Again, spells. So it's meant to trick us in essence, you know what I'm saying? Or to, in essence, keep us into our lower vibrational state of being in our body. But like with matter of fact, in which I have a little bit of the knowledge of it now. I know like with the Phoenicians, like matter of fact, hooked on phonics. In the Phoenicians, they created this situation where you got like the alphabet B. You also have a B, like a honey bee, and then B like I want to be something. Or C, then C like the ocean, and then C with your eyes. You know what I'm saying? But that's all a part of the trickery in essence with the word magic. Matter of fact, 'cause you use word magic to put a person in the hex. Again, in our fallen state, speaking. So word spells and magic, that came around. And there's no coincidence when they talk about putting a spell on somebody, it's like putting a hex on somebody. What is a hex? A hex is something that is six-sided. A cube, it's like a hex, a six-sided cube, the black box. And then Saturn also deals with boundaries, structure, putting things into, and another word for Saturn is Satan, And speaking of hex, a six-sided cube, you also have, so you boxed in your human bodysuit, and along with that, being boxed in that hex, you also have a hex within your skin of carbon, 6 protons, 6 neutrons, 6 electrons, the 666, In fact, I don't know if I can show it good, the Baphomet, my upside down stuff. Which the upside down star represents bringing the energy into the body, mastering your physical existence. And another reason why it correlates to, whether it's Saturn, because Saturn is being in our physical, in boundaries, structure, and it's good and bad. Pros and cons. There's no good or bad in essence, but pros and cons to every, a positive and negative to everything, that exists. So with Saturn, of course, it has a negative aspect of, keeping us very structured in our human, existence in our bodysuit. So it's up to us to, remember and deal with the aspect of being more than just our bodysuit. But we are here for a reason, and while you're here, you want to be the most masterful you could be within this bodysuit. So, being a light bearer, Lucifer was the savior that took us from that perfection. And perfection, that's all perception in essence too, that perfection. That's why, one of us, or however many of us that come from the Lucifer, soul spark, thought it was a good idea to come into the physical, you know what I'm saying? Because we was in that perfection for so long, nothing was changing, like everything was always the same forever and ever. So, one of us, again, a certain soul spark felt like, all right, why we gotta sit through this perfection? Some people claim that it was a certain jealousy, which it could have been, in essence, but I see it more as just like getting tired of that perfection in essence, and just a lack of just somebody question. It's more so somebody question like, all right, why things have to be like this? You know what I'm saying? Like, why is everything so perfect, and how did it get like this? But that's that Luciferian, Saturn or Satan aspect. And again, how they try to make it like, oh, your skin is your sin, this and that. Nah, it's matter of fact, the sin is the sign, like a sine wave, like a sine wave. But as a matter of fact, a sine wave in connection to us being a vibration, we are wavelengths, just like a sine wave. But also dealing with the elliptical, as well, like a sine wave. As a matter of fact, which is pretty cool. Matter of fact, definition. The word definition comes from deaf Phoenician. Like the Phoenicians, dealing with, the phonics and the word, you know what I'm saying? In essence, that's the, what actually, again, like the alphabet system in essence, deals with the Phoenicians. And again, I won't try to get too in depth with that. Maybe I'll do a part 2 where I could speak on just the, the Phoenicians. But I did come across that information where, a definition. So a definition of a word, when we're doing this word magic, stands for deaf Phoenician, or deaf ignition. But and matter of fact, with the definition, like a deaf Phoenician, I forgot the correlation to it, but again, that's where the word comes from. And not dealing with word magic, how they, been working towards, oppressing the melanated people. Again, this is something that, like, matter of fact, this is destiny in essence, as far as like, I tell people, it was meant for us to go through what we're going through. Pressure makes a diamond, So as much as some people would like to be, mad or hateful towards the oppressors, thank them, what I'm saying? In essence, like, you are source and everything is you. They are that contrast, that pressure that created that diamond, what I'm saying? And there's a certain aspect of you. You are God. God is everything. So as much as your ego don't like to, to identify with being all things, you know what I'm saying? Like to identify with just being your bodysuit, you know, but we are all, you know, the whole picture. But anyway, you know, with definitions, I'm gonna go through a few definitions, just showing, you know, how they continuously, you know, program people's subconscious to be scared of, like, you know, dark or black, you know. Matter of fact, because with dark, I'm gonna go with definition of dark: lacking light or brightness, of shade tending towards black, gloomy or dismal, sullen or threatening. So dark is something that's gloomy or threatening, obscure and mysterious, lacking enlightenment, evil and sinister. You know, that's all the definitions from dark for dark. And again, when you look at with who putting a lot of these words in place and stuff like that, you know, coming from the times of, like, with the, you know, with the Romans and the Greek, but, you know, those who were trying to oppress, we didn't use words like dark. Matter of fact, I mean, you know, you see the hieroglyphs, you know, it wasn't about no actual word. Matter of fact, we knew that we were dealing with the subconscious, so we was dealing with symbols, you know, and not necessarily trying to sound out a word. Again, you know, like the definition, you know, but using words, you know, holding us into this physical construct. But you see dark, evil and sinister, darken, to make gloomy or to tarnish, black eye, and I use one of the definitions for that, black eye, dishonored reputation. You know, you got a black eye on your resume, you know what I'm saying? Like, you did something dishonorable. Like, but you see, like, black and dark just always has to do with something like negative, or just, you know, what they, matter of fact, and what they would lump under the word bad, because they created the vibe of this is good, this is bad. You know, Constantine, I ain't gonna say Constantine knew for sure. Well, yeah, I mean, shit, he tried to get into mystery schools and got kicked out in essence. So, not say he got kicked out, but they didn't even get a chance to get in. But well, I forgot what I was gonna say. But anyway, back to you know, the words. They constantly, you know, creating a vibe to program your subconscious. So, you know, when you hear the word dark or black, it just automatically takes a negative connotation. And also, this is not as above so below. Reason why, you know, when you look at energy, you know, the feminine energy is represented by black, or the darkness, you know what I'm saying? So as above, so below, what aspect, you know, of the universe, in essence, developed first? You know, because there's no beginning or end, but in essence, like, what energy kind of, you know, preceded the other, in essence, is the feminine energy, you know, or the black energy, you know what I'm saying, the dark energy. From darkness, let there be light, because, you know, within black, there's every, you know, possible color in the color spectrum, in essence. So, you know, it's from that darkness, let there be light. From the darkness of the womb, man, let there be, you know, light. And you see that with a melanated woman having, with the possibility of being able to have any type of being, like you see Asians, all that, you know, the Asians kind of stem from the, I forgot what area, there's some bush people in Africa, you know, but they, matter of fact, and showing you too, there are people who naturally lightly melanated, you know, within Africa in certain parts. Matter of fact, and not even just in Africa, you got the Solomon Islands people who skin is bronze, and they mostly all got blonde hair and blue eyes, you know what I'm saying? And they have the eldest DNA, you know, in the world, them and the people on the Sentinel Islands, you know what I'm saying? So that says a lot that they got blue eyes, you know, the blonde hair, but, you know, they melanated beings and have some of the eldest DNA. So that goes to show you too that it wasn't no, like, it didn't take, oh yeah, you got your blue eyes and this and that from a European. Like, no, that's all melanated people, you know what I'm saying? And for whatever reason, because matter of fact, you'll find that people from that Madagascar area kind of got like that, bluish eyes. Matter of fact, and some of the Greece people as well, because a lot of Greece people, I mean, and Grecians in essence was melanated. I mean, mulatto, like the earliest mulatto people in essence. You know what I'm saying? But like light skinned black people in essence. Again, black magic practiced for evil purposes are in league with evil spirits. And here it is that's where like the top, I don't use the word Illuminati, but more so just stemming from the Freemasonry, and in fact, because Aleister Crowley, a Mason, what he was doing, he was making everybody indirectly trying to make everybody and I say indirectly, to a certain extent, that's what part of his aim was, making people scared of, dealing with the magic, and especially trying to make creating such a situation so, melanated people could be scared of their own knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Because if you take this white man and he like 666 the devil, I'm the beast. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh no. And then you got all these people that have been overturned into Christianity, and like, oh, that's the devil. Oh no, I ain't dealing with that. Oh, you know what I'm saying? It's like not realizing it's their own stuff being hung back in front of them, but in essence used to, to scare them so they could stay away from their true power. Same thing with voodoo. It's like, oh, it's dark, it's black magic. And you see how Marie Laveau was respected. You see how Haiti is still independent. And why America can't and don't really move on Cuba, or did tried their best in essence, but never really could do anything. It's because of Santeria, that Vodun, that Yoruba, or that Palo Mayembe, Palo spirits, strong spirits, but they again create a situation where like, oh, that's black, that's dark, and for years and years of subconscious programming. Matter of fact, that was a cool thing about taking an African American lit class, was that was one of the things that she taught us, was about like how they use the word magic on us with the word black. You know what I'm saying? And for one, you're not even black. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is black? What is African American? Matter of fact, so speaking of that, let me keep going. You got blackmail to extort, so again, it's like, oh, black gotta be tied to something negative. Black sheep, undesirable, disgraceful member of a family. And then you got certain animals, named with this to even create, because say for instance, a black widow and a black mamba, that's like two of the most poisonous animals of their species in essence. Use the word black, so it could always just be associated, but when you hear the word black, it's like duck, run, like grab your purse or pull out your gun. You know what I'm saying? And matter of fact, again, I kind of spoke to that. Who creates the words? Or the educators who, I say, yeah, the educators are the people who say, hey, we're gonna call this black, or hey, you're an African American. Like that's the Freemasonry, in the upper echelon, because it ain't just Freemasonry. You know what I'm saying? As I say that ain't Black People Lodge Freemason. You know what I'm saying? That's not like the Freemasonry on the lower level. We talking about, Albert Pike, Aleister Crowley, that level. But again, and who starts the educational system, you know what I'm saying? Which we're gonna get into that, you know what I'm saying? Because again, you get this little black box, this little, matter of fact, because when you think about it, the little motorboard, matter of fact, yeah, the motorboard, or in essence, like what it is, like mortar, but the brick and mortar, so like a Freemason. You ever seen like when somebody doing bricklaying work and they got the little, like a little square thing with a handle on it that they could hold almost like a symbol, like the symbol, like the, like the symbols, but like and they have like some concrete on it, and either they're put the concrete on that, and then they put it over the bricks. You know what I'm saying? But that that hat being worn on your head is not only a personification of them boxing you in to that black box and that Saturn energy, you know, putting you in the boundaries of where they want you, but it's also a symbology of them building you like they built you, you know what I'm saying? Like you they little soldier, like, you know what I'm saying? Like you got that little motorboard, now you ready to do more of their work, you know, because the school system educates you on how to be a better worker for them in essence, you know. At the end of the day, me and my brethren was talking about that. I mean, all you need to really learn is how to read and deal with numbers, and then, you know, read books from there. Because we should have been learning about chakras and law of attraction, the hermetic principles. You know, we should have been learning about this from the beginning of, like, as soon as I came out the womb. You know, matter of fact, my parents should have been talking to me in the womb like, you are God coming down here in a human version. You are great. You are able to manifest any and all things. You know, like, and matter of fact, while I'm saying that, people who, you know, may be expecting and stuff like that, man, put them affirmations, you know, into the womb. You know, make sure that you know, the little one come out with that knowledge, that energy, knowing from jump what's up, you know. Matter of fact, and also, like, that's why it's good to get back to, like, with the midwife and then having the babies, like, outside of hospitals, because hospitals ain't doing nothing but poisoning, you know, poisoning the beings right as soon as they come out. And we're going to speak to that too, about, you know, the birth certificate and coming through the birth canal. But then also, so the definition of black, being of the color black, without light, African American, or belonging to the racial group with brown or black skin, soiled or dirty, evil and wicked. That's the definitions for black, you know. So you kind of see where, you know, where that whole vibe comes from. And matter of fact, which I'll get back to this part, but getting into, you know, the aspect with, you know, the word magic and the court system. And matter of fact, and what's funny, like, too, showing you the correlation of the court system and, like, a church, and how, matter of fact, not only with the word magic of it, but how the word magic is built around maritime law, or like built around dealing with water or being on water. Because remember, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, the feminine aspect, you know, being in the subconscious waters, you know, like dealing with the subconscious, like going into, you know, the unknown, the deep waters, you know. So that, and in other words, they create this maritime law. In other words, like, we're the ruler of the waters, you know, of the subconscious waters of this you know, basically of this existence. In essence, what they're trying to say, you know, and trying to do is, like, you know, with their indirect word magic. But around 1300, or like 1400, Pope Boniface VIII claimed that he was you know, like this person for Christ, like this, you know, this advocate in essence for Christ, and he created the basically the first little trust or paperwork, the, how I say it, Sestuvi, what it is, Unum Sanctum Trust, but it's basically like a, wait, how I say it, SQV, Unum Sanctum Trust. But basically, he created the situation for the paperwork to make everything about ships or whatever, you know. And there's no coincidence that words like, well, you know, your ambassadorship, authorship, battleship, censorship, championship, companionship, craftsmanship, draftsmanship, fellowship, friendship. Yeah, matter of fact, what ship you on? You on the hardship? You on the horsemanship? You on the internship? You on the membership? You on the partnership? You on the relationship? You on the scholarship? Are you on the sportsmanship? Are you on the warship? Where you worship? Matter of fact, Seven Boma, I definitely always be putting that one on blast. The warship, like, worshiping a religion, is warship, like, it's like going to war with yourself in that sense, and workmanship. You see all these ships, and I kind of got a little, somewhat of a sentence together. I tried to show how these words, correlate in such a way. But so, say for instance, you need proof of passing through the birth canal, or the vagina, but the birth canal, like the canal, like like the water canal, and when you coming into a new place, because when we coming, out of our mothers, out of that portal, we coming into this physical human world for the first time, and they try to personify that as like you're an alien coming into a new country or little city state. So it's like you need proof of passing through that birth canal. So what they do is you gotta show your ownership, that ship. But you gotta show ownership of your vessel, aka your corpse or corporation or your dead body, because it's in all caps. Our name on our birth certificate, again, that birth, and matter of fact, even birth, BERTH, I think has to deal with, docking a boat or some of that nature, or part of a boat. But again, you come out of the birth canal and you got to show ownership of your vessel, so they create that little corporation called Ray Haynes. That's that corporation. And matter of fact, in which to the court situation, like dealing with a docket, you know what I'm saying? Like you dock your boat, they got the docket sheet. What docket you on? In court. The docket your ship docket your ship at court, so the dock your ship at the court, you know what I'm saying? But you have the lawyers who pass the bar exam. When you pass the bar, you're able to go, picture, you got a little bar that stop you from jumping into the water, you know what I'm saying? So when you pass that bar, you're able to go in the waters, you know what I'm saying? So like the lawyers passing the bar exam is like, now you're able to operate on these waters. You're able to fuck over people at sea, or quote unquote help people at sea, but you are able, you pass that bar, so you could go into the waters, so you could dock your ship, and matter of fact, you're allowed to go on the waters, so you could hop into your apprenticeship. You hop into your apprenticeship, where you on that ship you learn how to deal with those waters, you know what I'm saying? And then as you in that ship, you start to get a current flowing, a certain currency, you see current ships, passing the bar onto the waters, like it's all, dealing with waters, but you start to get a current flowing as this, this lawyer who passed the bar exam. Now you're able to go into the waters, you're on the ship called Apprentice, and you got a current flowing. Matter of fact, at your bank, like the river bank, has a current flowing in the river. You got the river bank, so you got a current flowing at your bank. But you gotta watch out for the loan sharks. The sharks in that water. As a matter of fact, the sharks along the river bank. You know what I'm saying? Around the banks. Gotta watch out for the loan sharks. Because your liquid assets can become frozen. So you see, like all the little wordplay on, on water, passing the bar, you got this seal, and that's why they call it the Navy SEAL or actual SEAL, But all that, is a creation of word magic. That's why, like when in court, You know, another thing they do, like, do you understand? You know, it's like, do you stand under me? Do you stand under what I'm saying? You know, because remember, too, Maritime dealing with that courthouse situation, it's nothing but an invitation to court. Like, unless you did something extremely malicious, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you just like a traffic stop or the light, you know what I'm saying? Possibly even a little minor, depending on where you're from, though, a little minor possession of the herb or something, you know? It's like, man, that's an invitation to that courthouse. You don't have to go, you know. To matter of fact, to play their game. That's a whole game they playing, and you know what I'm saying. But judges, and matter of fact, what I'm about to so now what I'm about to speak on is a few not say quotes, but information from the Brethren Jordan Maxwell. There's some literature, a book he had dealing with the name of it called Matrix of Power. You know, but a lot of this kind of word for word kind of comes from him, but of course I'm gonna get into it as well. But one of the things he says, judges have a Masonic hammer or gavel which they hit to declare the word of law. The idea of law comes from the biblical 10 stone commandments, and that's why there's the terminology breaking the law. So matter of fact, you know, word magic, why like, oh man, you breaking the law. You know, like breaking the law, like if the law, you know, what they consider the law again, and trying to bring you back into this brainwashing, like we gotta honor the 10 commandments. Like everybody know that, you know, the laws of Mayat preceded any and all that Bible shit, you know what I'm saying? Like the Bible only 2,000 years old, the Quran only 6,000 years old. There's water erosion from the Sphinx, which is the area of Kemet where they were practicing knowledge. There's water erosion on the Sphinx that comes from over 10,000 years old, you know. So right there, that lets you know that all that Bible, even the Quran, you know, like all that, much love to the Islamic brethren and all that, but, you know, it's watered down like, you know, and from Kemet to Kush going into, you know, the Indus Kush area, which turned and going further into Angkor Wat, you know, the Indonesia area, you know, that's how that spread that way. So, you know, with that 10 commandments and law, you know, that's, again, them with that bullshit trying to brainwash you, but, you know, and play the word magic game to make you answer to their bullshit, you know, that they, some of them don't even really believe in it themselves. They're just using it as a game to fuck over everybody. But, again, 10 stone, or the stone, you know, and the commandments being written on stone, that's where you get the terminology of breaking the law, because if you took that stone and threw it down, you would be breaking the law in that sense, you know. So you get that vibe from it as well. And then the judges always sit on the 3-tier high platform representing the first 3 blue degrees of Freemasonry. You know, the same tri-tier platform is found at Congress and in the altar in most Catholic and Protestant churches. You know, they have the 3 tiers, you know, in the beginning of the church. And I know for sure, like, the 3 tiers in essence could represent the mind, body, and soul. You know, when I think of the 3, and it also represents communication, because what they're doing to you, you know, when they in their platform, you know, they're communicating, and they want to have a certain power over you in communicating. So in essence, too, is like they're on the 3 tiers, you know, like higher than you. You know, so my communication is coming from a higher place. You know, that's kind of what that. And again, symbols, you know, because here it is, well, on a conscious mind level, because we're not taught none of this. You're looking at the whole setup is like, why they got 3 tiers, or why they got this like this, like, you know, conscious mind don't understand it, but the subconscious is like soaking it up and being indirectly governed by those symbols. You know what I'm saying? That's the trickiness to the subconscious, is that no matter what you know, like consciously, unless the subconscious is programmed and hip to the game as well, you're gonna be indirectly going with the flow, you know, of what some symbols is kind of in essence tricking you into, you know, dealing with. But again, you know, you got 3 tiers platform, you know, with the judge sit at, you know, the Catholic churches, Protestant churches. And that's also why you get or give someone the third degree related to the third degree of masonry, where the initiate is asked a series of probing questions he must answer correctly in order to become a master mason. So in essence, the 3 tiers is also, again, kind of representing, like, all right, like almost like going to court or church is like that fake initiation, part of again, this little, game or fraternity they have with themselves, but it also represents that third degree, again, the third degree related to the third degree of masonry, where the initiate is asked a series of probing questions he must answer correctly in order to become a master mason. And they also faking, again, they mimicking the mystery schools as well, because the Freemasons got something called like the Panthera grip. It goes something like this. One time, Brethren gave it to me. I ain't gonna say by mistake. Well, to a certain extent by mistake, because he saw the ring, and he thought I was a Mason in that form, like their way of doing it. You know what I'm saying? And he's like, "Oh, how you doing, brother?" And he kind of gave me the thing. He was like, I'm not a Mason officially. No, I always give that respect. I'm like, I have the knowledge. Matter of fact, I am the knowledge. I know how deep it is to know that I am the fucking knowledge. So it's my birthright to be all up in this information. You know what I'm saying? And not even a birthright, because I never was born. This is my existence. This is my right by existence. To be into this information. But I definitely was like, oh no, my brother's not a Mason. But anyway, the 3 questions. And the Sphinx. How they always speak of the Sphinx and how somebody gotta, you gotta answer these questions, this riddle. Like the Sphinx gonna have a riddle for you, and you gotta answer that riddle in order to, be allowed to get into the, into the mystery school, or into, in fact, also say into the actual Sphinx, like into the body of the Sphinx. But that's all, mimicking. And matter of fact, the Panthera, the lion, the Lyran beings, the cat beings. That's why you got, again, word magic, Catholic, which stands for cat, holistic. You got cathedral, which stands for cat, and hedral, which stands for like hedra, or geometry. Like you got tetrahedron, and all the shapes. Because a cathedral mimics, the pyramid, is made with certain measurements, to bring down a certain energy, because they indirectly know, like how, say for instance, the indigenous ancestors, and even still to this day, they got tribes that still do this, where, the places built off of the Fibonacci or the golden mean ratio, to the fullest, to bring the energy. So say for instance, every house could be shaped like we do a pentagon, maybe. That's, it's a bad, horrible shaped pentagon, but so this is the way the house is shaped in the village, let's say. As a matter of fact, too, it would also be, too, if you was trying to embody a certain energy, like if you're trying to embody the energy of the 5 in your, in your community, you know what I'm saying? As a matter of fact, let's see. We'll break it down to the science for real. Show you how all this correlates to each other. Oh, right there. Five deals with enterprising, enthusiastic, active, versatile, clever, freedom-loving, prolific, sensual, and adventurous. The negative aspects of 5 is irresponsible, rash, passionless, forgetful, oversexed, purposeless, overindulgent, old-fashioned. But say for instance, if you want to add a vibration of like freedom loving, again, like the vibration of 5, you would make sure that the huts are, the teepees. So another thing too, you don't really want corners, or at least you don't want 90-degree angles in your hut or teepee or tent, you know what I'm saying? Because 90-degree angles cause destructive wave interference, which causes negative energy, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's why it's always about saging the corners of the house, because that's where negative energy builds up at. But with the pentagon shape, you'll have the hut shape like the pentagon, then each, other, oh dang, I done messed it up. Each other hut is gonna, I'm trying to, this is horrible pentagon, but basically you would be, like, say for instance, the chief or the priest, his hut would be in the middle, and all the other pentagons, but which would create like a pentagon shape. So in essence, the village, even the huts have 5 sides, and then the village would be in the shape of 5 sides, where the boundaries would be like a pentagon as well. And then you would have the priest, or that shaman, stand in the middle. And when you go into, that shaman's hut, he's gonna have an altar that's shaped like a pentagon, inside of there as well, So it's basically, again, like that as above, so below, like fractals, like not only the altar is shaped like a pentagon, but the hut is shaped like a pentagon, and the village is shaped like a pentagon. You know what I'm saying? On the as above, so below, full aspect of it. Matter of fact, I can't remember why I got speaking to with cathedral and how the measurements, like with the pyramids, because having certain measurements. And matter of fact, British measurement embodies a more realistic vibe, closer to the golden mean ratio. So if you're building a house or whatever, it would be good to build it dealing with the British measurement, because that gives a closer consistency to the golden mean ratio. So that's gonna create a certain energy, like that's the real science, like creating your house with that certain type of energy, the feng shui is real. And get back into the information. Now also gates around the church altars and in courtrooms, and plus all have to rise when the preacher and the priest come in. You know what I'm saying? Which I used. Boy, that man, and you see, just knowing what's up from your soul, bro. Because I ain't gonna lie, going to the courthouse, like, and standing up for that situation, man, that would feel so. Oh man, it just felt like I was you feel like you're in a dystopia. Like, this shit can't be real. Like, yeah, stand up for this motherfucker who don't give a fuck and trying to bam all of us, and we gotta respect him, and he don't give a fuck about us. What the fuck? Like, for real though, it's like that. Noticing early in the game, you know what I'm saying? And even with a preacher, it's like, bro, this nigga, you know what I'm saying? He just learn how to read the Bible just like me, you know what I'm saying? Get in front of us and, speak from the Bible, but the nigga ain't, if I cut him, he gonna bleed just like me, Like, not that I'm trying to cut a priest, but it's just the fact, it was the expression of it, you know what I'm saying? Like, put on his shoes and socks just like me, why do I have to rise, Now, of course, and there's a difference in this. On the energy level, if I'd have felt like a certain energy coming, because I was always sensitive to energy, if I'd have felt like a energy coming, like, the priest, or if it was possible for a judge to have a Christ-like conscience, I doubt that, because even with being a judge, that takes you away right there. But anyway, say for instance with a preacher though, like, if I really felt like this Christ, like, just high vibration, I probably wouldn't have felt no way about standing up, when that person walk in church, I'm like, yeah, man, this person really helping, got that sauce, you know what I'm saying? Like, I would, feel, I would wouldn't mind showing reverence and respect to that situation, but energetically knowing what I knew as a little kid, it was like, nah, person, no different from the next person. He just, considered a preacher, As a matter of fact, aspect to show you again, like how this is a game, judges take recess because he is in the court playing a game of tennis. As a matter of fact, when you say the word tennis, the first word is 10. You go back to the, I ain't gotta show you the 10 Commandments, so tennis, and the 10 Commandments, we're dealing with people breaking the law, the 10 Commandments. And when you think about it in court, like defense attorney or the two lawyers going against each other, that's like Venus and Serena, that's like, a tennis game, like, whew, whew. And then when the person scored, then the judge is like 14 love. Like same thing. It's a game, that they playing with your life though. They playing with your soul. As a matter of fact, and they literally playing with your soul in the essence too. Because remember, to show ownership of your vessel, or that corporation or that dead corpse, you gotta put your soul of your foot on it. So as a little baby, like some of our birth certificates, or most of us, had that little stamp of the sole of our foot. It's like giving our soul, to that system. Of course, you could get it back through the awareness, what I'm saying? By being aware of the whole situation, by just the beginning stages of being aware of it, starts to clean it up in your universe, let alone when you really start getting into it and like knowing like, all right, I don't have to deal with this, don't have to deal with that, Same thing with the IRS and dealing with taxes. I just had a post that spoke to that, but that's all they bullshit, And matter of fact, even down to being a melanated person in America, the 14th Amendment still never was fully ratified. So as a melanated person, matter of fact, proven from the case of Dred versus Scott, I'm still not a citizen, so I don't have to abide by this bullshit anyway. This y'all little fake laws. I'm not a citizen of this bullshit. I've been around, That's y'all little games y'all play. Matter of fact, that's why like if you was ever to like a little ticket or anything, bring your birth certificate. And like when the judge say, which you shouldn't even go, but if you happen to go, as a matter of fact, and want to test this theory out, have your birth certificate with you. When the judge, be like such and such, like Carrie Haynes, come to the front, let's say, put that birth certificate up there and be like, here you go, this is the corporation, Carrie Haynes, you're looking for. If you want it, or that corporation, there you go. But I'm not that corporation, you know what I'm saying? I am God on the human experience, But which, again, I'm speaking to that. That's for people who, in essence have that nothing to lose vibe, because again, there's more to it with speaking of like, your sovereignty and really like going in court and breaking that down. There is a way. Matter of fact, go check out Dr. Aleem L. Bay videos. You probably just look up sovereignty, and you'll probably find a video that for anybody, that especially if you may have, because we all go through shit and dealing with shit, if you may have to go to court for something or anything soon, it would behoove you to check out that information, and see what's up with that, But again, back to the judges taking a recess, like, oh, recess, like, oh, recess. Matter of fact, they play that same system in school, so you see all these little institutions, the courthouse, the church, the school is all made to, indirectly use the same shit. And I mean, the jailhouse and the schoolhouse is more correlated though, because you know you ain't nothing but a number, you know, in the jailhouse, which in the country too, you know what I'm saying, you ain't nothing but your social security number, like, you know, and when you're in the courthouse, you ain't nothing but a docket, you know what I'm saying, and in the church, you ain't nothing but an offering, you know what I'm saying, some money or revenue, you know, so just showing how they, like, all stages don't care about you truly. Because if the school system, if they really cared about us, the school system would teach us about our chakras and about how energy moves from the jump. Like there's no excuse, and anybody who feels some other way, I respect you, but nah, like, we are souls in a human experience. So I need to learn about why am I here? Not to be learning some little education system to be a fucking zombie in somebody's government. Like, I didn't come down here for that. Of course, a part of the situation is I have to deal with that because I came down here, and part of coming down here is agreeing to whatever's going on. And then once you find yourself, you know, you start manifesting in the way you know how. But, you know, it's not about dealing with any of this bullshit. I kind of lost where I was with the rant, but again, you know, the courthouse like a tennis match, bouncing the ball back and forth. And matter of fact, witness must place their hand on the Old or New Testament before making their testimony. Now y'all remember I did a video just on Testament. You know, the old story and the new story, the Old Testimony and the New Testimony, because the testimony is also dealing with, you know, the etymology. Testimony deal with the testes or the testicles. You know, my balls is my word. Word is bond. Or, you know, my balls is my word and word is bond, or James Bond or Jimmy Bond. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, you think about James Carey, you know, aka Jim Carrey, you know, his real name is James. You know, same thing with James Bond. It's like a Jimmy Bond, like you know, your Jimmy. You know what I'm saying? Like and also, and it's all stemming from, you know, the wordplay again with the Freemasonry. You know, what they deal with. You also have two-ball cane. Two-ball cane is like, you know, the father of masonry. You know, in essence, along with you know, Hiram Abiff is like the two important figures, but two-ball cane, even in that name, two balls and a cane, you know what I'm saying? I gotta do it, but you know, matter of fact, two balls and a cane. Cause remember, I just finished talking about Jimmy Bond or James Bond, two balls and a cane. My balls is my word. Two balls and a cane. Two-ball cane. Matter of fact, if you ever see a Mason, grab your nuts and say two-ball. See what they do. And matter of fact, see, another thing indirectly showing you, all right, testimony, dealing with testicles. So in other words, a woman can be a witness or testify. You know, a woman has no power in this system. You know what I'm saying? And that comes into the play where you see, like, you know, the homosexual vibe of, like, you know, the early Freemasonry, like wanting to wear wigs, you know, wearing a little apron that's almost like a skirt, and like they little, you know, their shoes kind of had a little raised heel to it, like wearing high heels. The men being around each other all the time and disrespecting their mothers and daughters, you know, because here it is, these are people who have beautiful daughters and mothers who took care of them, but at the end of the day still shit on them, you know, shit on the women around them indirectly by, you know, by suppressing the woman energy. So here it is, a person that didn't give a fuck about, you know, their own women, you know, in that sense, you know. Because again, with that system, you know, with the European oppressing system, it's not just about, I mean, yeah, their aim is to oppress melanated people, but they running over everything in a way. So that means people that look like them, people that might even be a part of the same little fake religion, you know, like, it's like a wolf pack. Like, you know, if you weak, they gonna eat you. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you was our homie yesterday, but you ain't keep up, now we gotta eat you. Well, that's how they come. You know, but again, the witness, and matter of fact, again, you know, when you're a witness in the court, you know, put your hand on the Bible, you know. And when you're a witness in church, like, can I get a witness? You know what I'm saying? Like, come testify in the house of the Lord. You know, and then, matter of fact, and in some cases, you are allowed to pass through that gate, you know what I'm saying? You know, because that gate kind of represents stepping into their domain, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like the gate in the courthouse, or like, you know, the churches kind of have like the little blocked off. Sometimes the church might have the little gate area, or it won't be gated off, but still, it's to, you know, create that separation into like sitting on the 3 tiers, like, I am the higher power and you are my pheasants. You know, all of you stand as I walk in. All rise. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the vibe, and that's subconscious programming. To constantly make you, in essence, bow down to something, you know, outside of you, and make you feel like God is outside of you, and that you don't have control over your circumstances. You know, we don't have the full. We do have a full control over our circumstances, but to a certain extent, we had more free will before we came into these bodies. But now that we're in these bodies, we kind of agreed to a certain story, in essence. Not to say that we have a straight up destiny that's just going to play out this certain kind of way no matter what. Nah, you know, it's just a certain character that we chose to be in this movie, you know, in a certain way we chose to carry it out, you know. So it's being in alignment with that. You still have the free will to drink some milk instead of some juice, or do, you know what I'm saying, whatever within the constructs of the story that you agreed in, though, you know. So it's like free will still there, but it's not that extreme high level free will, you know, like in a higher existence. But yeah, you know, with the church vibe again, you know, can I get a witness? And with, again, and bashing the women, or the women not allowed to testify or have a testimony because they don't have testes, they don't have testicles. You know, so how could they word be bond? And I'm not, you know, of course I'm speaking from their perspective, you know, how could a woman word be bond if, you know, they can't, or no testicles, you can't have a testimony. Yeah, you see that game, you know, again with the church and stuff, is why a lot of people, you know, feel some kind of way about church, in the essence of like just going, just because that's the only thing that they know and being taught, but like they really don't want to be there. They're really looking for a truer connection, in essence, you know. And matter of fact, and then another aspect, wearing black as a representation of Saturn. You know, because matter of fact, in the courthouse, you know, the judge wears black. You know, matter of fact, and see how everything correlates. You know, word magic, putting a hex on a person and dealing with the Saturn energy, boxing somebody in. You know, because the judge wears the black robe, and who else wears the black robe? You know, somebody graduating from school. You know what I'm saying? From getting that 1 degree. You know, you got your degree. Your 1 degree of knowledge out of 360 degrees of a full circle of knowledge, you only got one you only got 1 degree. That's the game. When you got 1 degree of knowledge, and it took 18 to 17 years of your life, you know, to get that 1 degree of knowledge. When you could have started off as a little, you know, kid, learning about your chakras, about the Hermetic principles, about your indigenous culture. You know, you could have been learning about that and getting the full, you know, 360 as a little kid. Matter of fact, learning how to break down the allegory of the Bible, and how, you know, it's about the actual sun and the actual Christ seed energy within you. You know what I'm saying? Imagine learning that at 5 years old and 6 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, starting from birth, you know, our parents whispering, you know, all this information to us while we're in the womb. You know, imagine a world like that. Parents having a situation set up where the kid's ready to be, you know, eat healthy and, you know, be around healthy conditions, you know. Matter of fact, like the school somewhere in Finland or Switzerland somewhere, because matter of fact, that's where the big banks is, so they know better around there. But like where the children allowed to be barefoot at school, or I don't think they would probably make it necessarily mandatory in essence, but probably to a certain extent, you know what I'm saying. But allowing the kids to walk around barefoot because they know the true connection of that, you know what I'm saying. Using that indigenous knowledge for for their advantage. But again, wearing the black is a representation of Saturn, like putting boundaries. Matter of fact, Saturn hitting that gavel, you know what I'm saying. But matter of fact, and throwing you into the boundaries of a cell, because the judge like, guilty. Go into that boundary of a cell, or AKA jail, representation of trying to be Saturn energy, boundaries, responsibility, the Lord of Karma, matter of fact, the Lord of Karma, but that all correlates, and also, just more evidence of how I there's no coincidences with etymology and breaking words down, you know what I'm saying. Because matter of fact, the word words is an anagram for the term sword, because if you take words and you just put the S in front, you got sword or swords, if you still kept the S back there, but you go from words to sword. Sword. And matter of fact, in using certain letters for certain words, it's no coincidence. So say for the letter S goes one way and then the other, like it's on one side, and go on this side, and then come on the other side, and come on the other side. So it's associated, with things that may do that. So say for instance, snake. How does a snake move? Shape of an S. You think a matter of fact of the conducive staff, with the Kundalini serpent, or the Kundalini serpent, it is the Kundalini serpent. I'm about to say serpents, but no, like in that picture, it's more of a representation of the Ida and Pangala, but the snake or the serpent, S, it's a slither, slither, a sin. In essence, like to a certain extent, like going on either side. Matter of fact, in the letter M, it's shaped like a mountain. The word mountain starts with an M. You know what I'm saying? V. What's in between a mountain, a valley. And a V goes to that word valley. Matter of fact, if you look at the word. You got a mountain, a little mountain, and then a little valley. The V in the middle of the M, or in the middle of the mountain. So you see that direct correlation. T uses the word top. So you can sit something at the top of a T. You can sit something up here at the top of a T. Another one. Oh wait, no, that's gotta make it even. So some breasts. B for breasts. Direct correlation. D. Superdome, the new Louisiana Superdome, but the dome, D, shaped like a dome. And then C, shaped like a crescent, talk about the crescent moon. C. So you see those direct correlations, direct correlations to, them using certain letters for certain words is no coincidence. It all plays into the word magic. You know, that's why it's important for us, you know, to become more knowledgeable. And two, this allows for you too to break down, you know, the Bible and certain you know, spiritual texts. You know, you'll be able to break down more with, you know, knowing etymology and how words break down. When you hear a certain word in the Bible, and you know, like, all right, whether it's the etymology of the word or just knowing the word, like I'm thinking about knowing what a word stands for in the Bible, you know, too. So like it might say one thing, but it's meaning another, you know, trying to think of something. It'll come to me, I don't want to pound on it, but as a matter of fact, in Greek, the term word means logos, and I always speak to that. The word logos is defined as the source that controls the universe, the written word or inspiration of God, or a logic and rational argument. You know, as a matter of fact, that's the definition of the word logos. You know, the word that controls the universe, the written word or inspiration of God. As a matter of fact, a logo, you know, a logo is also a symbol. So again, you know, because we are God, so the source that controls the universe at first was the word or the logos. You know what I'm saying? At the beginning was the word. But two, that's at the beginning of this. That's another thing. At the beginning of this physical existence, you know, it wasn't no beginning at all. You know what I'm saying? We always eternally was here. So it wasn't no at the beginning, and there wasn't no word. You know what I'm saying? Like we eternally always existed. But again, on a vibrational level, you know, like and the fullness of source on the vibrational level wants to experience itself, you know, so the only way to do that in essence was to drop down into, you know, a physical being. Matter of fact, it only dropped parts of itself into this physical being so it could observe the rest of itself. You know what I'm saying? But the logos, you know, that will program the subconscious, the symbols, you know, the word. You know, so the source that controls the universe. We control things with our mind and our thought, you know, our thoughts and our words, you know. So it makes sense that would be the definition in essence. Matter of fact, and also known as the same thing, the controlling principle in the universe. And then two, you see like etymology of word, like belief and alien, but you know, to be lying, be lie, a lie, a lying. Matter of fact, because what they doing with ancient aliens, they telling you a lie. You are the fucking alien. You are the extraterrestrial. I am God and I'm everything. How could something be outside of me? You know, of course, there may be something that's more, how can I say, extraterrestrial to this area or this dimension or physical planet, but you know, it's nothing in essence extraterrestrial. You know, so and two, with the ancient aliens, man, this is a straight direct slap in the face towards melanated people and indigenous people in the essence of, and not for you to take it egotistically, you know, let people be people, you know, they're gonna do what they do, but it's we should though be knowledgeable to that aspect and let people know, like, hey man, that the ancient aliens, they just trying to find anything to give credence. Are they trying to find anybody or anything to give credence to dealing with the pyramids and these ancient structures? They want to give it to anything but melanated indigenous people that always been here. You know, that's why they make history try to seem like it started just a short period ago, or they always try to make it seem like man only been around recently. And then that's where too, where it's no racism or nothing, but us being aware of our indigenous knowledge and know that with a lot of stuff that, with the Europeans speaking on things, it's speaking from their aspect. So even with talking about the body and health, like it's okay to drink milk and do this, that's speaking from their, like, who wrote them books, who, that's them speaking on their anatomy, you know what I'm saying? Now again, not looking at it as no separation, but it is the fact that we are built different, you know what I'm saying? Like, I could still be, again, I'm built different from a raccoon. That don't mean I hate it. I'm built different from a dog, a cow, or different animals. That don't mean I hate it or, gonna, be against it in any type of way just because I notice that I'm different from that cow. I'm different from a darker, matter of fact, even me as a melanated being, I'm different from a darker melanated being, and I'm different from a lighter melanated. I got my own little vibe going on right here in my bodysuit, But it is a fact, and again, with the aliens or alien, that's all it is. It's just trying to find some type of way to give credit to something other than the indigenous people that always been around. Again, you got the Sentinel Island people and the Solomon Island people have some of the most eldest DNA on this planet, And matter of fact, in both, but more so the Solomon Island people, with the blue eyes, and the blonde hair, showing you that, that existed way long time ago. Before European even, came about in that form. Because again, it's about knowledge of self. I am God. So I have to really find out what's going on here. You know what I'm saying? Like, because all that being scared to get into information just because, well, it's separated. It talks about, black people and white people, or, it separates to this and that. And not that it's separated, but it's like, oh, it speaks on color. And, ain't this brick red right here, or, ain't this hat red, this green, it's a blessing to have eyes, it's a blessing to see. Don't disregard that blessing by claiming that you don't see color. That's a disrespect to Source. Source made all this beautiful color for you to see. So why you can't see it? I don't see color. All I see is somebody that looks just like me. Gotta stop it, man. It's cool. Like, you see how I bring up the subject of color and our different quote ethnicities and all that, but I have no problem loving my reflections. I have no problem dealing with people no matter how they look. You know what I'm saying? So it's not about like, oh, speaking on tearing down. All my videos do is enlighten people and bring love and light into their to their being. Because matter of fact, it's all about dealing with reality and truth. So at the end of the day, it's not, it's your intent. Now, if I was intending to bash people with the information, that's a different story, and you will feel that energy as I was saying it. And matter of fact, and to break down the other word, though, belief, like I believe in Jesus. I believe that Jesus died. I believe that Adam and Eve. I believe you be lie. To be lying. That's what you believe. Belief. So not only you got the word lie in belief, but then when you think about the acronym or like bullshit or BS or belief system, it's a bunch of bullshit. There's no the etymology, like even that's an etymology in essence for BS, the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? To be correlated, with the same, the same little acronym in essence. That's all the same thing. And let's see. Another word that has a strong connection to the term word is the term light. Light is sometimes referred to as a photon. In physics, a photon is usually indicated by the symbol, it's like a little Y symbol, for which, In the physics, a photon is usually indicated by the symbol, again I just showed y'all, and which is a lowercase letter of the Greek symbol, but which stands for gamma. And the word gamma is close to grammar. As a matter of fact, also with tetragrammaton, or yad hey vad hey, the 4-letter word, tetragrammaton. And in fact, some etymologists believe that the Greek word gamma is where the word grammar originally come from. And again, tetragrammaton. And seeing like the grammar again, at first was the word, Matter of fact, and they spoke of yad hey vad hey as this word that shouldn't be spoken of. Matter of fact, too, you see like that indirectly creating that vibe of like, God is something that, that which should not be named, you know what I'm saying? So they gave that vibe, to like yad hey vad, like you shouldn't say that name. But and also, so in English, grammar means the study of the classes of words, their inflections and their functions and relations in a sentence. So gamma. So again, another word with a strong connection to word is the term light. You know what I'm saying? So you're seeing light, light beings in the word. It all correlates. As a matter of fact, another thing too, we're speaking to just the whole correlation of, I spoke on like, the courthouse looks like the fucking church, the jailhouse look like school, you know what I'm saying? Like it's all correlation. And matter of fact, the school and all of this, especially like a school, is almost, be real, which is almost like a, what's that, brethren? I just made a video speaking of that box that they they do the experiments in. Matter of fact, but my video about dystopia, I gave a quote from a brethren. Matter of fact, let me see, I might have it right here. I ain't gonna try to see it if I don't. Because the reason I'm about to speak on like the Pavlov's dogs, alright, I don't have it right here with me. I was gonna speak on how, like, so say for instance at a public school, at school in general, we have a bell to, switch you in between classes, It's like that kind of stems from the situation with the Pavlov's dog experiment, where it would ring a bell right when it was time for for the dogs to eat, and then he noticed that one time, like ringing the bell and not having food ready, but the dogs in their mind when they heard the bell was like, oh, time to eat. And like they started salivating from the mouth as if the food was there, as if they were about to eat just from hearing the bell. But like, again, school, like you ain't nothing but a science experiment. That's what they treating, like you in a little box, in the, man, I forgot the dang. But it's a little box though that was created for the little mouse experiment, so the mouse could touch this little thing and drink some water, or touch this little dab and get some type of like, as a matter of fact, they testing out some type of medicine or something. They like got color switches. Oh, the mouse pressed the red one and it brings down this, or the mouse touched the white button and it brings down this, and then they see the behavior of how the mouse noticed the difference in the chemicals or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But that's like, the school system, jailhouse, that's like that little experimental box. Like in essence, to that aspect of, like the Europeans, in essence, that's down with the trying to oppress people right now. Their vibe is like strictly, like solely masculine and logical. So not a drop of feminine energy, within, how they deal, what I'm saying? It's like they straight scientist mode, like they that part of God that don't give a fuck about feelings. Like, I want to cut you up and look at the inside of you, and because I'm disconnected from the metaphysical aspect of my being, I gotta do everything physically. So I like instead of like say for instance using remote view and viewing the inside of somebody's body, I don't have that ability. My pineal calcified, so I gotta cut you up literally. You know what I'm saying? I gotta do experiment literally. You know what I'm saying? Again, part of it could be seen as oh they're just trying to be malicious, but it's just the divine order of things. You know, that's that aspect. You know, as God, you know, our aspects fully, you know, separated in essence. You know, I always bring about like how the you know the black woman and the white man is like the yin, you know, the yin and the yang in essence, you know, like, and that's somewhat of the battle that's going on, because of course, you know, the court system and stuff like that attack the man, but they're attacking the man in essence to leave the woman vulnerable. You know what I'm saying? Because as the man, that's where you know you protect the you know of you know, queen, your queen or queens, you know, however the situation is, you know, you are you know, that masculine aspect, the hands-on, you know, physical, you know, aspect, which you was created to be, you know, that light to move things around and add a little structure to the chaos of the, you know, the divine feminine energy, but not to a point of entrapping, you know, the divine feminine and throwing it in the, you know, in the black box. You know, but that's basically it. You know, just being aware again of the word magic, you know, and seeing the correlation, you know, because now that you know this, you know, it makes more sense. Because again, that's what, and with me doing videos is like, because if you watch a little bit of, or if you happen to say, for instance, if you just happen to sit down and watch most of all of my videos, you know, you would see that correlation, because there's a lot of videos that, you know, where I'm talking on one subject, but I kind of hit on other little points, so it will bring it all together, you know, the whole situation. But matter of fact, you know, that's basically it. And I got another aspect to talk about, let's see, languish. Old French, languir, be listless, pine, grieve, fall ill. From vulgar Latin, languir, from Latin, languir, to be weak or faint. So in essence, like the word language kind of derived from a word languir, which means to fall ill or become weak. And again, back and see, there's no coincidence. You know, the word language deals with weak or faint. You know, to grieve or fall ill. You know what I'm saying? We started using words. You know, we started falling. You know, that's our fallen state. Whenever we start to use words, you know, we were using, you know, telepathy, sending mental symbols to each other, you know, communicating on an emotional, telepathic, energetic level, you know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, I did want to put emotional, because we kind of do that now indirectly, you know, like reading each other's emotions and learning in that, or communicating in that vibe, you know. But again, languir, you know, derivation of language, deals with being weak or faint. Matter of fact, so you think about being weak, you know, the word weak, you know, after 7 days, you know, God became weak after creation, you know what I'm saying? That's why you got 7 days make a week, you know, it's getting weak. You know, you see how the language, you know, language to be weak, so weakening our light in essence. The more we talk, the more, and that's why indirectly, to a certain extent, there is some sauce to, you know, the less you talk, you know, just the more light, you know, because I feel that, like, and which I don't, like, when I talk a lot, whatever, I don't feel bad, you know, it is what it is, like, that's just an aspect of me. I talk, matter of fact, a shadow aspect or whatever, maybe over talking, you know, all right, cool, deal with it. But I do see the sauce, and like when you talk less, you are able to just hold much more of a stronger vibration, because you know, you're not just saying anything. Because sometimes too, you fall into the vibe of just saying something just to, you know, oh, let me just, you know, matter of fact, falling into the small talk vibe, and it's like, talking for nothing, just bringing you lower and lower. Here was your vibrational straight, but now you're talking. And matter of fact, as you're talking, now you're talking about certain subjects or things that create a certain reaction within you. You know what I'm saying? So it could throw off your energy more. The more you talk, the more is a chance for you to throw off your energy as well. In that essence, compared to me like not talking, and I'm not. But the practice of splicing words in various ways to find hidden elements contained within them is called, like, a matter of fact, what word splitting is. And an easy example of word splitting is the word language. Now, as I do this, now this is the only part of the research that I didn't do the extra research for. But I feel that if my high self is allowing for me to go through with this without feeling bad, but I know that I'm bringing this up for a reason too, but more so just being truthful at the fact that this is the only part of information that I'm unfamiliar with. Like, it's my first time hearing it, and I never really cross-reference it on a physical level. Maybe high self was like, it was good to go, but I just wanted to put that out there. But with language and breaking it down to language, and land stand for monster that protects the noble ones, gu, the god of war, and age, the age of the zodiac. So in essence, the full meaning of language would be monster of war that protect the noble ones, are golden gods throughout the ages. So the language, in fact, an age, dealing with the age of zodiac. In fact, the zodiac signs, in essence, the creator gods that construct us into our physical being. Putting out certain little uniqueness, like, all right, we need this type of energy. Capricorn. Aries, Pisces, different little energies. There's 12 tribes of Israel, 12 zodiac signs, 12 disciples, or the 12 disciplines. Again, disciplines of the zodiac sign. Only one I could correlate and always use the example of is Judas. Judas is a correlation of the Scorpio constellation. Why? Because, matter of fact, let's see if I got it somewhere. But, like, all right, we're in Libra season, right? So we just hit that equinox. And then somewhere along the lines, so let's see, going April, March going this way, get to where we around right now. Then, we get into Scorpio, then Scorpio somewhere around here. And that's getting into, the darkness. The sun is descending. And Scorpio give that kiss on the cheek, like, right before you get to that, that lowest point. It's like right before, because Scorpio also deals with the underworld too. So it's like that kiss, from that, that Scorpio energy, basically is like the sun moving through the constellation of Scorpio. So like, yep, it's time for winter, like that kiss of death. You know what I'm saying? Like, you about to go into the lowest point, because at this point, December 21st, it's the lowest point, and it's the, least amount of sun in the daytime. The sun has died, and Judas sold the sun out. You know what I'm saying? Judas was the one that kissed the sun on the cheek, the Son of God, the Christ energy. And also, within the body, as above, so below. We got the microcosmic orbit, which is like the micro to the macrocosm, but you got the Christ seed energy that moves within our body, from the root chakra, the root chakra in the manger, where Christ was born in the manger, and the root chakra around shit, they got a bunch of animals and shit in the manger, like your animalistic nature and shit is around your root chakra. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, rising up that spine, and rotating. But say for instance, if you might have sex without preserving your Christ energy, you're gonna squander that Christ energy. And what area, what zodiac sign deals with sex? Scorpio, the underworld, sexual energy. Scorpios are known for, which don't give them the tag like, oh, Scorpios are just sexual or over sexual people, but they definitely not unfamiliar with that area. You know what I'm saying? And so you see the double entendre of the Scorpio within the constellations, like giving the sun a kiss of death, with the stingers, kiss. You're about to go into that deepest underworld, and who better to send you into your deepest place than the ruler of the underworld, or not say the ruler of the underworld, but with Scorpio in some astrology, is not associated with Pluto, because Pluto, Neptune, and Uranus considered outer planets that came into use later. But the Pluto energy, is definitely correlated to Scorpio energy. But again, you see that correlation exactly. You know what I'm saying? Of the Scorpio energy squandering, or in essence, betraying that Christ energy, you know what I'm saying? Not only within your body, but outside. As above, so below within this body, you know what I'm saying? Like, and as above, and also within the wholeness of this body, as above, so below in the genital areas, you know what I'm saying? Like, the as above, so below aspect is even embodied within the body of something, you know what I'm saying? Like it's, a never-ending fractal. But yeah, that's basically it. Just dealing with the word magic, being aware of it. That and again, breaking down etymology and breaking down words and getting into these deeper aspects again allows for us to. Because as we constantly pile up information that's undeniable, like with the witness and being in church, can I get a witness, and showing how it correlates to court, and showing that both systems come from, the same people, like European oppressing people who trying to, brainwash the world, you know what I'm saying? So you see, like, a Christian, like only them Christians that, again, that's just so blinded, and which it is what it is, like they would still try to like fight against the facts that would be slapping them in the face, but it is what it is, when a demon got you, and it's your own demon, but when your own demon is holding you down, it's holding you down, like, because literally, you are a host, you know what I'm saying, like somebody like, oh, we hosting this party or whatever, like you hosting your demon. And for your demon to eat, it eats through you. So that means, like, so say for instance, if I'm a parasite in the body and I like motor oil, I'm gonna try to influence this person, in some kind of way, form, or fashion to drink motor oil. You know what I'm saying? Just I use the crazy correlation, but you know what I'm saying? Like, it's the energy is like it's hungry for something, so it's gonna use you to get what it's hungry for, you know what I'm saying? Because again, these energies, people think is a game, but again, there's certain beings, down to the aspect of, even the beings that's going about it the righteous manner, where they're waiting, like they're lying there waiting to get their own body, but then you got certain energies, that probably ain't had a body in a long time, and they ain't trying to wait in line for nobody, you know what I'm saying? And they also had a capability, though, of like, taking control in essence of your body, like that those energies, that's a real thing, you know what I'm saying? Is your, your inner demon manifested into, outer energy coming towards you and dealing with you. That's why, like with scary movies, you know, because matter of fact, it's another thing too, with words and all that. But like so how I went through the little situation talking about black and all that, you know, you got H.P. Lovecraft, you know, with that situation, you know, he's the father of like mostly all horror movies, you know, and horror movies again is a programming to make you scared of the dark, you know what I'm saying? And matter of fact, being afraid of the dark, I just went through the word dark, you know, oh, scared, dark magic, black magic, oh, I'm scared, you know what I'm saying? But yet, you know, all the top people that, how can I say, that like a people that's a part of this oppressing game, you know, the people who they admire the most comes from this ilk of like the H.P. Lovecrafts, the H.P. Blavatskys and the Dion Fortune and you know Rudolph Stein, Gerald Massey, McGregor Mathers, Lon Milo Duquette, like, you know, like all these different people, you know, which are considered like, you know, of course the government is not gonna boast like, oh yeah, we listen and deal with these vibes. They gonna fake like they go to church. They got a job to do and it's keep you a slave, so they gonna fake like they doing something else. But they admire, if not idolize, you know, these H.P. Lovecrafts, you know, like all these occult and esoteric people, Aleister Crowley, matter of fact, Kenneth Grant, you know, another one. Matter of fact, Kenneth Grant and Gerald Massey, you know, two that spoke out on like that all this, you know, information like the dark magic and the dark side. Like they basically was like, man, it's all indigenous people, you know, stuff, you know. Matter of fact, I think it's Kenneth Grant who, which I gotta get that the gift of it's called Polaria, I think the book is called. I forgot the name of it. I think it's called Polaria, but that's another like a expensive book that's hard to find. But matter of fact, W.H. Mueller is the author of the book, but W.H. Mueller is the author name, you know, like the little pen name that Kenneth Grant was using, you know. But there's that whole, again, trying to make you scared. Matter of fact, the Baphomet, yo, get that goat away from me, you know, man. It's just the scapegoat, you know what I'm saying? It's just, you know, matter of fact, that Saturnian, you know, Capricorn, the scapegoat, you know, the scapegoat energy. But I think, nah, that's it. I do take it. Yep. That's basically it. I hope I covered all the bases. Not the most, you know, for this video. Matter of fact, and if you know if this content was helpful in any way, form, or fashion, or if you really, you know, learning something, enjoying the information, don't forget to like. Don't forget to actually subscribe, you know, hit the little bell notification button so you get notification. You know, if you're really vibing off the information, any and all donations is greatly appreciated. You know, I have a donation link underneath the videos, top right corner if you're on YouTube on the desktop, you know, right by the little Instagram, Twitter icons, you know, that little area. But you know, basically any and all support is greatly appreciated. Whether, you know, and again, whether financially or just, you know, energetically, it's all greatly appreciated. But peace, happy now. Now is a vibrate, of course. Not going too far in the future. Not going too far in the past. Right now. Peace.